Welcome to my SSDC class for lesson 2. Okay, so today I have my second lesson in the morning at 8 a.m. The instructor is Mr. Faisal, quite a nice instructor. So today it's the second lesson, so main thing is the instructor just bring me around the circuit. Nothing new, but when we first start off, right, so when we first start off, the first thing is rope tying, really. So almost every session, right, they will want us to do rope tying. So do watch my video, the other YouTube video on the rope tying, right? Then next is height estimation. Then today I think this Mr. Faisal actually bothered to explain a little bit more lah. Okay, so we have a quick test on the height estimation. So what happened was, remember yesterday I talked about the first video about this marker, right? So this just to show you, just draw for you all to see. I said, so each of the marking is, this is 50. Okay, so today what he did was, I think the first one was quite easy lah. I mean, he showed something like 50-50, and then somewhere I'm just trying to draw estimation. So he put somewhere around here, this part here. So I say it's around 2 feet, so 20 cm, so it's around 120, right? So 1.2 meters, so plus the height of our lorry is 2.4, which is around 3.6. So then he said, okay, fine. Then he tests me further, right? So this is the part where I got a bit lost. So he put somewhere, I think, extra, quite higher. He put somewhere very close to the edge here. This point, less than 1 feet. Less than 1 feet. So I was a bit, so what should I do? So when he did that, right, so he said that if this is less than 1 feet, okay, maybe I just put 1 feet inside to so-called to make it more realistic. Not so big. Oops. Okay, I just try to move it around. Oops. Okay, I think it's still too big. Yeah, I think this should be good enough. Oops. Okay, so what happened was it is really less than 1 feet. So what happened was he put it somewhere here, less than 1 feet. So what should I do? So he told me, if it is the case, right, always round up to the nearest 10. Okay, if this is the case, right, so this should be 10 cm. Oops, not this, not meters. Apologies, make a mistake here. This is not it should be 50 cm. Okay, so it's around 1.6. so if this is the case, this is around 0.6 plus 1.6. okay, plus the 2.4, then so you must be good with your math. So it's around 4 meters, 4 meters, right? Remember the unit, right? So today definitely he said that once he crosses the line, once the marking is below the line, this is a full 50. Okay, anything above this marker is 50, below is, you should always use the next 10 already, so it should be 60. Let's say that if this mark is here, right, if the instructor put somewhere here, you round up to the nearest 10. All right, so if it is here, then you say, okay, it should be 60 cm. Okay, so this is for the first part. So we did a bit of practice and testing. Then after that, so he was like asking me if there's any problem. I said, okay, mainly my turning, you know, I wasn't very too sure. And then she said, okay, fine. Then we went around the circuit 2 rounds. So of course, I think by then he see that okay, I am able to drive. Then oh yeah, the interesting part about left turning, left turn, okay, left turn. For left turning, right, this is the very interesting part. Okay, right, nicely. So in the left turn inside CDC, no, what am I saying? SSDC. Apologies. Okay, still too blur. Okay, inside SSDC. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned something about this kind of bend all the corners, right? So I think there's a slow word here, slow, and then there's a slow here. So if you see one vehicle here, you should stop somewhere here, and then likewise here, right? So the instructor taught me how to do a left turn without having our left side of the wheels being too close to the curb. So this is what happened. This is a curb, right? This is a curb. Okay, so this is the back wheel. So if you turn left, right, most of the time, okay, if you didn't go forward far enough, right, there is a tendency for the back wheel to mount the curb. All right. So the instructor taught me something very interesting today. So in the front of the lorry, let's say that this is the front windscreen, right? I mean, not the windscreen, the front. Then of course there is this wiper. Okay, so I'm looking forward. Okay, we are the driver. I'm not. Okay, how to say? We are looking outwards. This is we are inside. We are here, looking outwards, right? So it says in the front here, right? In the front, there is a knob here, a little hole here. Okay, and he taught me a trick. He says that if I don't know when to turn for the left turn, right, use that knob on the it's the dashboard, technically on the dashboard. So what he says is, okay, I just try to make it nicer. So let's say that if it's not dotted line, it's actually a continuous line. It's a continuous white line, my mistake. Okay, so it's a continuously white line on here. So when your lorry is here, right, he wants us to, it's okay to go above the line for left turn. So he wants us to, when we view, right, just now I say about the dashboard, the hole, he wants us, when we look at it, the hole and the white line should match, and then you use the hole to follow through this white line, and then by then, right, you will clear this, and then you just straighten back, and you can have enough room to avoid the back wheel from striking the curb. Okay, it's a very, very cool trick, right? I didn't realize that. So if this is the windscreen and then the dashboard, there is a little notch there. So he says that if you see that the notch and the line and the single white line, right, is on top already, start turning once this one and the line meet. Start turning. Okay, start turning, and then from there follow, make sure that this hole and then the line, right, just follow through. It will make sure that the back wheel clear, but we will be slightly on top, but he says it's okay. Alright, I mean our right wheel is slightly on top, so yeah. Okay, so that's one trick I learned today. Very interesting. Oh, something about the speed limit. Our this truck lorry speed limit 60 kilometers per hour. Our normal road, right, is 50 kilometers per hour. So we should always base on the road. Okay, if the road is 50 and our speed limit is 60, go according to the road limit. But let's say that now we are in some expressway, like let's say KP is 80 kilometers per hour, right? Or if the speed limit down there is 70 kilometers per hour, you don't match according to them. You match according to your car, to your lorry, right? So if it's allowing up to 70 kilometers or 80 kilometers, but the maximum of your vehicle is only 60, go at 60. But on normal road, it should be at 50. Okay, so that's one thing to take note of. So yeah, that's a key thing I learned. The turning and the rope tying. Okay. Then after that, we went for the road. I was out on the road for quite a while, quite a lot of turns. And today, what we do is mainly this what we call U-turn. All right. So there are two types of U-turn. I mean, the U-turn one is through the filter lane, right? So through the filter lane. Okay, so the filter lane is something like this. I think it's try to make it more realistic. Okay, so there's the arrow. Okay, so to perform U-turn, right? So this is a very big U-turn. Okay, so he said that okay, to go in, right, when our lorry go in, okay, we should be around gear 3. By the time we reach this first bend, before we reach, we should be in gear 2. Gear 2. And be ready for half clutch. Half clutch. Okay, so when we are near to this bend before the actual U-turn, right, start to get down to gear 2 and then ready for half clutch. Alright, so usually is this either a giveaway line or a stop line. Okay, so for U-turn, right, the two types I say. One type, the most I practice both lah. So let's say that for those with a filter lane, right, let's say that okay, I just try to draw the filter lane. It's usually very wide. So the filter lane is here. Filter. Okay, then the arrows. Right. So here usually should have 3 lanes. Okay, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Sorry. Okay. So make sure that all the 3 lanes are clear. And then here should be the stop line. If it's a stop line, stop. If not, if a giveaway line, just see the traffic, right? So when your lorry is here, right, if it's a half clutch in gear 2, half clutch in gear 2, so follow according to the contour, but watch our back wheels. For me, a few times when I turn, I realize my back wheels is very close. So that's why it makes sure that all the 3 lanes must be clear. Then we turn out. So there's nothing special about the technique if you know how to use a class 3, but more watchful is the length. Okay, the length. So for this type of so-called 3 lanes, where this thing is called the island. When the island is big, you should turn to lane 1. It's always 1, 2, and 3. You should turn into lane 1. Okay, so this is for filter lane, and then we got this island which is very big. Always you turn to lane 1, right? So that's just follow contour, watch the back wheels. Of course, the normal safety blind spot check lah. This. Okay, then the other one, the harder one, is those traffic light junction. Those traffic light with the island is very small, probably like this. Those kind of very narrow type of island, and then the traffic light is here. Okay, the traffic light is here, and then stop line. Okay, here it must be 3 lanes. Okay, I actually asked the instructor, would there be a possibility of 2 lanes? Later I explain to you. I think, usually here is something like that, where pedestrian will cross, and then the light is here. Okay, so if our lorry is here, Okay, now let's say that there's a green arrow. Okay, turn, right? So this is the part where I have to share with you how to do the U-turn without our back wheel striking the curb. Okay, so what the instructor says is half the vehicle length past the curb, this curb here. Once half of the vehicle, then we can start to do a three round turn. That means turn full lock. That means you turn the steering wheel 3 times full lock, and then you will always end up in this lane. Okay, so how do you gauge half a vehicle? That's the hard part, right? Then how? I mean, for a car it's easy, but for a lorry that is around 6.6 meters. How do we do it? Okay, the key is with the side mirrors, the right side mirrors. Okay, the right side mirror, right? He told me that when we look at the mirror, we can see our lorries. I mean, we can see the back of the lorry, right? The back, somewhere here. And then he told me actually you have to gauge from there. One way is when we see that. Okay, for a lorry, try to draw something like that. Okay, the setup is like that. Okay, and then the good thing for SSDC, right? There's a cage. They put a sort of a mini cage at the back. Okay. So how do we estimate? Very easy. If you see from the mirror, right, okay, I mean, I just amplified the picture a bit. Okay, if you see that the curb right past this end of the cage, you can start to turn. Okay, another way the instructor taught me is there is the corner. Okay, there's this black so-called the starting point of our the back there, this space. Okay, this black corner, right? He said use that as a gauge. If once this black corner pass the curb, right, for some distance, right? Actually not for some distance. When it's past, right, we can start turning. It is quite a good range really. So one way is you can either use the corner. Once it passes the curb, let it run for a while, then you turn. Another way is look for the almost like the cage, either end of the cage or at the beginning of the cage, then you start to turn. But this is a very, very good technique. That means when you view from the side mirror, right, you can see that. Make sure that the view is okay. I will try to take a photo next time. I try. Okay, because when the instructor there is very, very pricey to take photo. So make sure that you see that our the black corner here past the curb here. Then you can do a full lock. Okay, 3 round, and then you always end up in lane 3. This is for when the island is very small and those controlled junction. Okay, so that's the main thing I learned today, U-turn. So what else do we need to, what else do I want to share? Yes, okay, let me share something. Okay, I can share a couple of photos that I took today. So this is for yesterday, right? Yesterday I was telling you about, okay, I didn't take the actual vehicle, but this is the one that I saw very close in the car park. So you see this front mirror here, it is to see the front. It's a front blind spot. It's to check front blind spot. Okay, check front blind spot. Alright. And then the lorry is generally this kind of rectangular one. And then I say, in case people were wondering how it looks like in the front, yeah, technically the mirrors, right, it's not attached to the door but attached to the front. You see, it's actually, oops, you can see that it is towards the front. Actually, it's mounted towards the front. So this is a different build lah. This is the, I don't know what lorry is SSDC using, but next time I try to take a photo, right? So what else do I need to share? speed limit, U-turn. Yes, okay. Then one thing that is always my mistake is I tend to have my left foot on the clutch lah, regardless. So he said, okay, once I change up to gear 3, okay, legs down, right? However, if I'm in gear 2, right, I can do half clutch. I mean, my leg can be on clutch. That's one thing I need to reflect on myself. Then for turning, technically, once for the left turn is once we pass, once our body or our shoulder pass our this curb, right, we can actually start turning left. Okay, that's all the thing he told me. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Okay. So today is road practice and more of the road regulations. So far, I think shouldn't be a problem. I am quite okay. Just that I still need to learn to manage the vehicle. Not easy. Alright, and yeah, that's about it. Alright. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going for my lesson 3. It's about obstacle. So looking forward to it. Okay. Cheers. Bye.